Hi, welcome to Empower Today. People keep talking to me and saying, do you think Arsenal are going to win the league now because they're top of the league? And I keep saying, no, not worried about it at all. Man City are going to win it at a canter. They're so much better than us. We've got a thin squad. I'm not worried about it at all. We can worry about all kinds of things, can't we? Jesus in Matthew chapter 6 tells us not to worry about food and drink and all those things. But he does say, at the end of that, don't worry about tomorrow because you can't affect it, and today has enough worries of its own. I think there Jesus is saying, worry about the things you can affect and let that worry turn into sorting those things out. But worry is very different to anxiety, isn't it? We've been thinking this last Sunday in our Sabbath sermon series about anxiety and how Sabbath is resistance to anxiety. The Jewish people, when they found freedom from slavery in Egypt, were outside in the wilderness under Mount Sinai, waiting for Moses to come down with commands. And they'd lived for as long as they could remember in a state of anxiety. Pharaoh, the leader of the Egyptians, made them work harder than they could, made them look for food that wasn't there, took their children, their baby boys when they were born, and threw them into the Nile so crocodiles would eat them, because he was anxious about everything and trying to control things he could. And so the Jewish people come out of that regime drenched in anxiety. A bit like our culture now. War in Ukraine, food prices, fuel prices, government, rail strikes, bus strikes, university placements, 11 plus results, and so the list goes on. And I'm not even getting on to the things that personally just affect you or personally just affect me. Anxiety, it seems, is at everyone's door. And for some reason, the 10 Commandments in Exodus that are given at Mount Sinai tell us, it seems, that if we rest, we can resist that anxiety. I'm not talking about the crippling illness of anxiety that ripples out through whole families, but I'm talking about that gut-wrenching anxiety that we have from time to time because we feel that things just aren't in our control. God seems to say through Moses, if you rest, it means you can focus on God and worship him. If you rest, it means you can focus on your neighbours and help them not live an anxious-filled life by honouring your mother and father, not killing other people, not committing adultery, not lying, and not wanting what your neighbour has which isn't yours. Could it be that if we pause and we reflect on a Sabbath day, or a chunk of it if we're doing nothing at the moment, and we just take a morning, an afternoon or an evening, could it be that if we take that Sabbath break and we rest, we stop, that our anxiety might lower a little as we lift our eyes not to a football team but to the Jesus who hung on the cross to bring peace between God and humanity? Why not try it? Let me know how it goes.